everybody. Welcome. Good afternoon and good evening to all the football fans out there. I'm your boy Big Q. This is TeamBoydTV Live. We represent for NFL Week 7. I'm joined by the fellas like always. I'm joined by the Sage of Sports Glasses in the building. What's going on, Glass?
What up, fam? Big QJB. Glad to be back over here. Thank you to everybody on social media for joining the show. As always, let's get it cracking.
Absolutely. And I got the Raven Shogun. JB is in the building. What's going on, JB?
Yo, what's happening? What's up, Glass Q? Glad to be here. Let's go.
Man, trying to get it. What I wanted to say, I want to thank everybody for supporting the show and checking us out when they do. We definitely appreciate all that. Also, if you guys want to see the show grow, you want to see us kind of, get a little bit more traction, feel free to support your boys in any way you can by liking, by sharing, by letting people know what the show is about. We got links in all our descriptions where you can actually help out monetarily too if you want to. We got links for Patreon, we got links for the Streamlabs, we got links for donation. Check your boys out if you want to. Seattle Seahawks 5668 is in the building already.
What up? What up?
He says 4-12. Here we come, y'all. 4-12. We here. What's up, y'all? I think we got a pretty good show tonight. What we're gonna be talking about tonight, Glass, is we're gonna be talking about that Jalen Ramsey trade. We're gonna be talking about that Marcus Peters trade, right? We're gonna be talking about that. We're gonna be talking about JB's boy, Jameis Winston. I called it last week when we talked about it. I see your face. We talked. I called that last week, and it went out exactly the way I said it was going to go. Right? Exactly. And of course, our main story this evening, we touched on it for the last couple of weeks. The situation that's brewing here in the beautiful city of Charlotte with the quarterback situation. The Carolina Panthers are on a bye this week. When they come back, Cam Newton is cleared to return. What's going to happen? We're going to talk about all that. Where do you want to start first, Glass? You want to start with the Rams and what they're doing out there?
No, I'm gonna start real quick with Brock Osweiler.
Oh, okay.
He just retired today after 7 years in the NFL. Yeah, sold over $100-some million. So hey, good riddance, man.
Absolutely.
It should be good.
He should be good, right? He should be good. Wow. So he stole the money, huh?
Yeah, he stole the bag. Went to Houston. That's where he stole the bag from Houston. I think $72 million.
Yeah, but didn't he convince Denver to bring him back there too?
All right, man. Let's not bring back old news. I think he played with the Cleveland Browns. He got his money. I ain't mad at him, man.
And ain't do nothing, Jay. But he did absolutely nothing in his career. What, he had about 14 total starts? Probably less.
Probably, if that, man.
Right.
But, he got a good agent. A lot of people need to find his agent and try to get on his team.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
So I think it was goodness, I don't know when it was. It was after Sunday. Maybe it was Monday. What was it, Tuesday, Glass, when the Rams looked like they was clearing up some space. They didn't.
Tuesday.
It was Tuesday, right? And I was okay. So they trading away Peters, right? So but you know what? The Ramsey thing didn't even pop into my mind. I didn't even think about it, right? I was just like, oh, this is weird. This is a little bit strange, right? But then Jalen Ramsey got a new home, JB. I know Ramsey is one of them characters that you kind of like. What you think about this fit? You think this is gonna? I was hoping for San Francisco, but look like he going to the Rams. What you think about this?
I think it's a awesome move by the Rams. I mean, look what they had to give up to get him. But it's an awesome move by them based on what's happening in that division. You got a surging Seahawks. The San Francisco 49ers are coming out of nowhere.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not too worried about Arizona, but that division is tricky. And there's two teams look like they are pretty for real. So they had to make a move when Talib got hurt. They had to come up with something, and they did.
And Glass, if I'm not mistaken, they took oh, you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Yeah, they took a couple losses in a row. So, and I don't know if they was attributing that to mostly to the defense. I don't know. I was seeing some offensive struggles going on with the running back position, stuff going on with the quarterback and Jared Goff. But they patching up that secondary, bringing in, Ramsey. So you think that this, the couple of losses that they took, especially the embarrassing win in Tampa Bay, spurred this thing to make them make a move for Ramsey?
Definitely. Marcus Peters is not that bad, but he did let some stuff. You're supposed to be one of the top cornerbacks out there in the league, and you let stuff happen. I think the Rams are like, you need desperate moves for desperate measures and all that. They are what? They are in third place in their division, let alone the league. So with that being said, they figure, all right, let's give up these, what was it, 2 first-round draft picks and a 4th?
Yeah.
And they don't need it because they got a quality team, a top elite team. They got the players, so they figured, no, let's go ahead and throw that at Jacksonville to get this player that we
Right.
desperately needed.
Of course,
and with that being said, I'm not going to say that's the end all be all. Jared Goff, I don't know what's going on. He playing like he back to 2 years ago when we didn't even know his name. He's throwing all these interceptions. So they got to figure out and find out how to get him more accurate and show a little bit more confidence in his throw. So,
well, I think in essence, I think the Rams are 5 years in a row now without a first round pick because they gave up stuff to get Goff, and then they gave up 2 for Ramsey, and I think they owe another team 2 more. So now they all in on this season, obviously, because they're going to go 5 years without.
Actually, you're absolutely right. I think the last time they had a first round draft pick was when they got Goff number 1 overall, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah.
But they traded away a first rounder to make that happen.
Right. Yeah.
So but to speak on why they trying to rearrange on the defensive side, because they strapped in with the Goff money they just paid, the Gurley money they just paid, the Cooper Kupp money I think they trying to get together. So it's a lot that they're trying to put together that you can't remove on the offensive side because you're obligated contractually. So the only chess pieces you could move was on defense.
And I don't know, Glass. I know when you make a really nice run the season before, they made a Super Bowl run, and I know usually, it's hard to keep your squad together. You got cap issues, you got coaches that are moving on, all kind of weird stuff goes down when you make a real successful run like that. But I wouldn't think that it would impact them. Everybody have a Super Bowl hangover a little bit, but I didn't think it would hit them this hard though. Like they are getting hit real hard. They look completely different than they looked last year to me.
I totally agree. Do we blame them for paying Jared Goff? Because they were looking good when he was on that rookie contract. Now that they pay him, you know what I'm saying? So like you said, they strapped now. So they're going to make major moves, blockbuster moves in order to make themselves, I ain't going to say relevant, because I think they are definitely a quality team.
Yes.
But to get to the next level, they're going to have to go through that way instead of, through the draft, because they ain't got time anymore. That window's closing right now.
Absolutely.
As you say, 49ers looking good, Seahawks looking good, and they're not at the top of the division anymore. So they got to find out what moves they can make at a short period of time.
Absolutely. So Seattle Seahawks 5668 said in 2020, the Rams will be paying Jared Goff, Aaron Donald, Todd Gurley, Brandon Cooks, Tyler Higbee, and Robert Woods a combined total of $112 million. That's next year's hit.
Ooh,
that's
next year's hit?
That's next year's hit.
Oh,
right there. You know what I'm saying?
And if anybody been on the team that had cap issues, that's gonna hurt them for years to come. They're gonna either have to player purge or they trying to have some trade value in a guy.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to give up some big names in order to have a roster at the end of next season.
Oh, absolutely.
Hey, y'all, I'm gonna have to take a break. I got firefighters at my door.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Handle that, right? Yeah. So, while he handling that, we'll continue on this whole subject. Since Glass, I know he probably gonna want to be a part of this, but we talked about your boy last week. Now, I think T Money was on the comment section yesterday. Last week saying how you and Glass, y'all proudly picked against the Carolina Panthers last week. Right?
I did.
Yeah, y'all did.
I hadn't picked the Panthers since Kyle had been a starter.
So
there you go.
But that ain't even what I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about your man, Jameis Winston, right? And the situation that I called. I said it. I said, listen, this how it is. He's like that. What's that quarterback's name who played in Tampa for a minute? That everybody always get all hype up about, and then when you finally start believing in him, he start throwing like 9 interceptions in one game. What is the guy's name? Yes, that's what he reminds me of, man. And it's so weird because I knew I knew that was gonna happen. I said, you know what? It's about time for him to have one of them games where he turned the ball over a lot, and it just so happened, it was against the Carolina, the Panthers, which they beat the Panthers pretty good the first go around. So anyway, I just wanted to throw it in your face about Jameis Winston and his inconsistencies, right? And how I feel like. He is one of the most inconsistent quarterbacks in the National Football League right now. What you got to say about that?
Well, before you go that far, because this is the same team that went to LA and put 55 on them, right? So before you go that far and trash Winston, I think the Panther Faithful need to check themselves and some of the national pundits and stop giving all the credit to Carolina coming up with these wins to the backup quarterback that nobody knew last over the summer.
Oh no,
But he couldn't start nowhere else in his whole career. So let's give some credit to the Carolina defense. Winston was looking to give you 55,
right.
but the Panthers defense has something else to say. So that's on me, especially looking at this team disliking the Cam hate and not giving the defense the credit that it deserves. So let me do that. I'll do
absolutely.
that.
You know what? I'm gonna agree with you on that point because a lot of people are putting a lot of the wins on the backup quarterback, and I'm not one of them people. And in fact, whenever we get into that main story later on in the show, we'll discuss that a little bit more. I definitely think the Carolina defense won that game, right?
Well, they've been relevant in this streak.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I remember one game clearly that the backup guy had 5 turnovers by himself.
Yes, absolutely.
And the defense made a moot point. So the Carolina's defense needs some credit, like a lot more attention than they've been getting.
Yeah. You know what? I will agree with that. Diego was in the house. He said, "What up, fellas?" He said, "People are smoking crack." Oh, you must be talking about the thing that we ain't talking about yet with the Cam thing. We gonna whenever because Glass had to step away for a second, but we just kind of cover until they get back. But yeah, we're gonna talk about that too, though. We definitely gonna talk about that. And then of course, while I got you here, JB, I know we'll get Glasses on it when he returns, but I'm getting nervous for a couple people out there in Dallas, right? So what was the story going into this season with the Dallas Cowboys? The narrative was they were Super Bowl or bust, and they were trying to figure out what they was going to do with Dak and Zeke, right? And the main story was Zeke was kind of calling himself holding out for the cash, right?
Right.
They paid him. He has not lived up to the new deal at all.
No.
And the dude who waiting in the wings to get his money is looking worse and worse because he done lost 3 games in a row. Is it 3? Yeah, three in a row, right? Yeah, I think so. So what I want to talk to you, what I want to get your thoughts on is the main question is, okay, we've been asking this question for weeks now. Should Dak get the money, and is Dak ready to move up and be that franchise guy? So that's the main question. And then we'll talk about Zeke in a minute. So what you think about it?
I think so. I think it's warranted. I mean, like I said last week, the week before that, man, look what's out there. It don't matter really who's throwing the ball till it matters. Okay,
right.
We saw the game Monday night, the Detroit Green Bay game.
Yeah,
that's not Aaron Rodgers. Of course, they had a couple of favorable calls, but if that's not Aaron Rodgers out there throwing the ball, Green Bay lose the game. Okay, so Dak Prescott give them a chance at the position that's most important. Now, in the essence, the troubles is the offensive line. They had one of the best. Now it's older and it's injured.
Yes, absolutely.
And Dak and Prescott, or Dak and Zeke don't look to form,
right?
Because of the offensive line. And both those positions need the offensive line.
Definitely not. And I know we always say this: hindsight is all about being 2020. But to me, it seemed like they're not getting the value out of Ezekiel Elliott right now. And I think that money probably should. If you was gonna give it to one of those guys when they gave it out, it probably should have went to Prescott at that time versus going to Elliott at that time. Because I don't know. To me, like the value right now, like it's probably gonna be more in the quarterback than it is now in the running back. I don't think has Elliott even had a 100-yard game since
I know for a fact he hasn't scored since.
Right.
I don't know the stats. I try not to get involved with
I don't know if he had a 100-yard game this season. I don't think he has. I have to look at that to pull the stat sheet to find out, but I don't think he has. I know
For the non-casual fan,
yeah.
if you can't run it, you definitely ain't throwing it, and that's what's been happening to Dallas.
Yeah, and so it's a bad situation, and it's bad because I think Coach Clapalong is finally getting now. Of course, Jerry Jones always have his little radio show, and this right here it infuriates me that he goes on the radio or in public and discuss like business. Like I don't know, that bothers me some type of way. I don't know if I like that or not. They asked him about the security and the voter confidence for his coach. They asked him about does the losses affect his quarterback's pending contract. How do you feel about that, man?
Well, I mean, granted, they're gonna first of all, it's the Dallas Cowboys. You're gonna get questions like that.
Right.
Everything about Dallas matters. They being relevant in 2020 without nothing relevant or significant happening is crazy to me, but it is what it is. But think about this, Q.
Yeah.
Last time the Cowboys won any type of Super Bowl, they had a college coach. Barry Switzer came there from the college ranks, won a Super Bowl. Jimmy Johnson came there from Miami from the college ranks, won a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy that everybody's talking about right now in Oklahoma looks like Garrett's out of there. He should have been gone last year, 2 years ago.
He should have been gone a couple years ago. I was going to say, but man, and I think I don't think he has anything really left to really do in Dallas. I mean, I think we've seen the best of Jason Garrett. I don't think it gets any better. Is this something he holding back that he ain't showed us yet? What you think?
No, I think he peaked the first time after his first season of gracing the sideline, and his enthusiasm for his first year of success of being there was just him happy to be there because I feel like he definitely didn't deserve it.
Yeah.
So now that he's gotten comfortable with being there, it's not like nothing new. He's pretty much a statue.
Yeah,
they don't do really anything.
So Seahawks fans said when he pulled that stat for us, he said Zeke did indeed have 300-yard games and 5 touchdowns this year. So I'm assuming that the games that he didn't get 100 yards were the games that the Dallas Cowboys lost. I'm thinking that's must be what it is.
Smith probably was out.
Right. That's probably those are probably because I know for 2 weeks in a row, he I think in New Orleans he was at 65 yards, and I think it was 70 something the week after. I don't know what last week's totals were, but so I'm assuming that's what Westman would have been. He must have had those 100-yard games when they were winning. Must have been at the beginning of the season. And then, yeah.
I mean, teams know when people get paid. And that's their job to try to, to say to the league, hey, either somebody opposed to it, the team is like, we're not going to let this guy have a day, and that's what they do.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, and then that all still falls back on the head coach. You have to get your guys ready.
And so Diego said Jason Garrett is like Marvin Lewis. Only thing I would disagree with is that Marvin Lewis had a whole bunch of 10-win seasons and made it to the playoffs a whole lot of times. Now, granted, I think did have Marvin Lewis ever won a playoff game? I know Jason Garrett has won. Maybe one. I think Jason Garrett done won 2. Right? So, you back. Everything good?
Man, shoot.
Is everything all right, bro?
House 2 houses down, garage went up in flames.
Oh, my goodness. But everything...
Yeah, man. I'm like, the show gonna have to hold on for a second.
Right. But everything good at the Glass
Everything
household.
good. We back.
Okay,
we back.
Okay.
We back.
So we're in the midst of talking about the 3-game slide that's happening in Dallas. And, the 3 players involved, 3 people, Dak Prescott, Zeke Elliott, and Jason Garrett, right? Thinking about these 3 people and how this performance is affecting them, right? So I just want to get your thoughts on. So what we're talking about is how Ezekiel Elliott really ain't been performing up to the level that we expected with this new deal that he got, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, we were trying to figure out if Dak Prescott is ever going to get his money because every single time we he closer to getting that deal done, something crazy happened. Dallas Cowboys lost 3 games in a row. And then, of course, you got the coach. So your thoughts, Mr. Glass?
All right. Number one, I'm just going to put it all in one basket, and I'm going to blame it on Jason Garrett for the simple fact his play calling sucks. They got I could say top 5 defense. It ain't playing well. Some of the calls, like the last game, he made 4th and 2?
Yeah, pretty bad.
Or something, and he made a bad call, and like I think they lost by what, 2 points?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of kicking the field goal, you go ahead and sit and try to run for it, which I don't understand. 3 is bigger than 2. That's just me. Back to and then to Dak Prescott. He gonna have to make a compromise. I know you're trying to make all the money that you can. I think he's making $2 million now.
Ooh.
$30 million sounded good to me. I understand you need to wait to see if you could maximize your opportunity. Well, it was cool when you was 3-0.
Right. Yeah.
Now you're 3-3. You lost 3 in a row, and you might as well tell your agent, man, let's make this move right now. I think I don't know if he was trying to make 40, but man, come on, man, make your 30 million.
I think it was like
Number one, you ain't a $30 million man in the first place. So,
Yeah,
like I said, you need to maximize your opportunity and go ahead and sign now.
But I think he might have a little bit more time to think about it, because I think now the pressure is off of him and it's actually on Jason Garrett right now. So I think Garrett being in the hot seat right now is going to buy Dak maybe like another 3 weeks to kind of
You think so?
I think so. I think
okay.
I got a feeling that the attention is going over to the sidelines and not and not who's on the center right now. You know what I mean? It just looked like it might be time for a coaching change. I don't know if you fire him while the season is going on. I think you maybe wait to see what's going to happen. I don't think you fire him during the season because where you going to go? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you still got that.
You got Rob Malinelli on that team. Yeah. He could be an interim coach. He done it before.
All I know of the leaders 3-3, and Washington just won their first game. They're only 2 games out of even being. They're 2 games out of starting to be in the conversation.
Right.
Exactly. Dak Prescott's his value, his leverage rather, of a contract, like even negotiation, is dwindling every week they lose. Yeah, and so he need to, if like I said last time, if they offer him, if the number is anything upward of $20 million per season, take the money, man. Quit playing.
Right.
Yep.
Absolutely. But I think that know that the money's there, and that's why he playing that game. If he was on another team where that money wasn't there like that, he probably wouldn't be playing that game. But he know the money's there in Dallas. He know they got it. You know what I'm saying? So, and then Diego says, if Jared Goff can get 36. You know what I'm saying, right?
I don't know where they at now. I know last I heard they were trying to get 40. Now that's too much, man.
That's a little too much.
You're not that type of quarterback. Get what you can right now.
That's a little too much right there.
Right.
I'm just saying, though, how many division titles do they even possess to even ask for that kind of money?
You know what I mean? They don't have
one
or two. That thing probably got 2. They probably got under Dak Prescott. I think they got 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
might be 2. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, how many Pro Bowls have you gone to in your time?
Damn, hey, you making it bad for him now, man.
I'm just saying. I know you. What's your third down percentage? What's your GPA for the season?
Exactly.
What is your touchdown to interception ratio?
Look, man, this is what he's saying. He's saying you listen off all that. How many playoff appearances Jared Goff done had? Not a whole lot. I think, as a matter of fact, if you talk about playoff wins, I think Goff definitely got more than Prescott. Mm-hmm. But appearances, they probably be somewhere pretty close, right?
Let me tell you something. Other guys that got paid, like, we're gonna stick with Goff because that's the comparison. He didn't do nothing, but that team went to the Super Bowl and lost.
Right.
Now they won, so he's basically one bad call away for another team to have no contract.
You know what I mean? So,
right.
Or the one that big. So I mean, let's be real here. Yeah. What goes into what's the ingredients to get paid more than $30 million per season as a quarterback? Because the market value don't say nothing. If that was the case, Dak would have already got paid.
I mean, apparently, the market don't really care what you done. I mean, you look at the Kirk Cousins of the world and. And all these guys, the Alex Smiths of the world. Look, people ain't. Really,
then what's the hold up?
What's the hold up? Doing nothing to earn this money. Only person I know who to earn their money lately has probably been Russell Wilson and maybe Cam Newton, because he got his money after the Super Bowl run, right? Or no, right before. He done won a couple division titles by that time, right?
Right.
So he kind of, and him and Russell lately probably been on the ones.
So what's the qualifier? If it ain't body of work, if it ain't what have you done for me lately, what happens? I mean, because Dak ain't got paid. I think,
Glass, I think it's about your position in the organization.
Exactly.
How they view you, your potential, and whatever they think they can get out of you going forward, right? You know what I mean? Like, I think that's got a lot to do with it because I'm telling you, people are passing a lot of money around for cats who ain't did a whole lot. I'm just saying.
I know.
What I mean, right?
But then again, you know what's so funny? Ezekiel Elliott wasn't even in line to get paid. He just moved up in front of the line like, you know what? Y'all hold on for a second. Let me get mine first. Okay, I got mine. All right, y'all do what y'all want to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So, I don't know. I think he will get, like JB, he's going to compromise. I think 30 is probably 32 at the max, maybe. You know what I mean? Probably.
Then other people, then it's going to be another conversation. I mean, why would you get Kirk Cousins $84 million guaranteed? He ain't done nothing. He had to get called out by his. No, it's about where you at. It's about what team you play for.
He'll get the money right now while the CBA is all jacked up because it's probably going to be harder to do it, you know, after they come back from the CBA. You know what I mean? So,
I think him and his agents betting on him. It ain't going well.
It ain't going well, man. It ain't going well at all. And you know what I'm saying? And that division can go any way right now, Glass. I mean, look, the Giants are still in the mix, and like JB said, I know it's late. It's late in the game. We almost at the halfway mark, and Washington just won their first game. But but since the rest of the division ain't really smoking it like that, they can probably get back in it if they want. If I mean, you know, they could, but I doubt it. But you know,
the division leader is only 2 games.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, so
at 1-5, the Dallas 3-3.
Yeah, sure enough, right? It is what it is. Okay, Glass. Here we go. We've been. I think we've been doing a pretty good job of touching on this for the last couple of weeks, but now it's time to really lay this out on the table and figure out like what's happening here in Carolina. So the Carolina Panthers are on a bye this week. I think from everything that I've read, I think it looked like Cam's supposed to be cleared to come back next week. It's looking that way, right? So the media and everybody's saying all this stuff about should Carolina move on from Cam, and I'm telling you, I done heard everything, Glass. I done heard it all, right? So you know what I mean? I done heard people break it down to the numbers, to the dollars, to the $19.1 million and all that stuff. To people talking about, you know, he ain't never gonna return to that form that we know and love. Let's put a pause and break it down for a second, Glass. So the main question is, if you are David Tepper and Norv Turner and Ron Rivera, right? You got this young backup, undrafted quarterback who done ripped off. For him, I think he done ripped off 5 straight rings. He won the last game of the season last year, and then 4 in a row this year, right?
Okay.
So he done had 5 starts, done won. Okay. You know, your franchise quarterback started this season looking pretty bad. You know, lost 8 straight games. He ain't won a game yet this year, right?
Okay.
His doctor's gonna clear him to come back. You know, I'm coming to you first. What you think of it?
Listen, okay, you cleared to come back. Don't mean you're actually gonna come back.
Right.
When you started, you was 0-2. So be it, you was injured. I got that. You was 0-2 though. You bring in your backup. What's his name? Allen? Kyle Allen.
Yeah.
And we ripped off 4 in a row.
Yeah.
We are 1 game behind the Saints in the division.
Yep. And
we got to keep this ball rolling as long as we can because listen. Okay, I'll put you like this. When is Drew Brees supposed to be coming back?
I don't know. They ain't put no date on Drew Brees yet, but I know
in about 2 weeks. In about 2 weeks, I believe.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, Cam. Now, don't get me wrong. I think I mentioned it about 2-3 weeks ago. If you keep Cam Newton this year, if you let him go this year, it's a $2 million hit on the cap. You keep him for next year, it's $21 million hit on the cap.
Yeah.
Okay, you got to put that in consideration.
Yeah.
And Tepper, this ain't Tepper's quarterback.
Right.
That's neither here nor there because Cam Newton is a quality quarterback when he's healthy.
Yeah.
When was the last time he was healthy? That's the question. So if I'm going to roll with Kyle Allen, even if he get cleared next week, I'm going to roll with Kyle Allen until we lose. Then I'll bring Cam in.
Yeah. I agree with that assessment. I agree that you stay with Allen until it looked like you need to go back to Cam, right? Exactly. I agree with that. Now everybody thinking about like, you know, looking forward. And I mean, really, I saw what's my man's name on Twitter. He hit me up early. Gio knows. It's like, let's move on from Cam. You know, Cam done played his last down for the Panthers. Blah blah blah. JB, 5 starts from the rookie, and we're gonna throw away all Cam Newton's accolades and records and MVP status, trip to the Super Bowl, everything this man brings to the table for an undrafted guy with 5 starts. Break this down for me, bro.
I don't like it at all. I've been saying this since this thing happened. I'll say this: nobody's calling for Drew Brees not to come back and take. Bridgewater hadn't lost either.
Right, absolutely, absolutely.
Nobody's calling for Brees not to come back, and I don't understand. At least Cam has had a Super Bowl appearance in the last 5 years.
Right.
No knock on Drew Brees, definitely a Hall of Famer, hands down. I'm just saying the narrative is different.
But you know why it's different? Because what was Drew Brees doing before he got hurt? They was winning.
Right. Okay.
What was Cam? I'm just saying.
We're talking about 2 games. We're talking about 2 games. It wasn't like they had one on a 3 or 4.
Okay, but last year I won a box of cigars from my brother here because of the losing streak they was having.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, I'm just saying. I just think that you banking on a guy who hadn't really done anything but just managing the game.
Right.
It's not. It don't equate losses. So nobody look at the reasons or how to. Even myself, I didn't look at how Carolina was winning. I undervalued and underrated and overlooked the defense. We thinking all the praise and the losses, they go to the quarterback. So all the casual fans looking at is the 2 losses Cam Newton had, and he obviously was injured. They look at the 4 games that Carolina's done won without Cam Newton, and all that praise suddenly goes to the quarterback. And he's been playing Trent Dilfer style football, in my opinion. Everything that he's been doing to keep Carolina afloat, Cam could do easily. He could do that injured if the defense was playing or complimenting him like they compliment this new guy. So, I mean, I think that Tepper and Coach Rivera need to give these casual fans and the real fans exactly what they want. To y'all's point, keep that guy in there till he stink up the joint.
Right.
Cam could use that time to get extra better. And then there you go.
And we also got to look at the level of competition too, right? So who did Cam face injured? Like we're talking about a 30% Cam. Week 1, the NFC champion Los Angeles Rams, right? Week 2, a hyped up, juiced up Tampa Bay Buccaneers team with Shaq Barrett blowing his head up like every other down, right? What has Kyle Allen faced? I'm just throwing.
But Q, if you remember when we was doing divisional breakdowns over the summer, I predicted the Panthers would go on the streak,
right?
Because the schedule was front loaded pretty easy. The first 8, we'll see, and everybody's gonna be crying for Cam Newton, and this guy's gonna probably leave a lot of fans heartbroken.
Yeah. You know what? I'm telling you, and I really believe, and I'm looking at Seattle Seahawks 568's comment. They say you can't walk away from your franchise QB with playoff and big name experience. You still got a defense to help him out and CMC like Cam heal up and get back in when he's 100%. Again, I think the consensus is most people it's okay with him sitting this one out, right? Until he's, because right now he's not needed to come back. Like, Carolina's doing okay. They don't win 4 straight games. They're doing all right. Again, the level of competition is a little bit different. Has Kyle Allen faced he had one division game. He had one division game against the Bucs, right?
No, and the defense destroyed Tampa Bay. Right. He didn't really do much of anything.
Absolutely, right? So class, are you like? So I was listening to Jason Whitlock today, and I just listened to a lot of stuff he was saying, and to me, everybody want to jump on behind Allen. And again, I like the kid. I think he's doing a fantastic job, right? He ain't your franchise quarterback.
Right.
It's not. You know what I'm
saying? If you want to model something, if you want to really look at your advantages for him not losing, for him being able to manage an NFL game this early in his career, look at what the New Orleans Saints got. They got Taysom Hill, they got Bridgewater, and they got Breeze. Yeah. If you want to look at the bright side, if you're a real fan, appreciate what you got. Kyle hadn't lost a game. He know how to win. He know how to manage a game. That's something that you got to have. Remember when DA used to come in, if Cam got hurt or needed a breather, how he would lose games for you. Yeah. So it's perfect. It's perfect. You got a viable backup.
And when we talk about the tangibles, Glass, we're talking about the tangibles here. I think Kyle Allen's accuracy, I mean, obviously, he got a little bit of an advantage over Cam Newton, right? Everybody know Cam got those selling balls, and they kind of all over the place. But there's just certain things that in the playbook now, and I'm pretty sure Kyle Allen's playbook is very limited. I'm pretty sure
Yes.
this is like super limited. But think
Yes.
about all the things they done built around Cam Newton over the last 8 seasons in Carolina that they could do when Cam is healthy, right?
Yeah, but
Mhm.
this guy, Kyle, has not been in a situation where you got to come back from 2 possessions,
Right.
clock against you,
Absolutely.
game on the line. He's always been within 3-0. They played with the lead.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
get out of here.
Yeah.
I'm not one of these, casual fans. You got to look at the game for what it is. It's been favorable.
Yes.
I mean, listen, for this stretch of games, the first 8, for him to be able to do what he did, kudos. The coaching staff, the organization, for them to put that together and stay relevant when your franchise guy's out, man.
Yes. I mean,
What
because
you
really,
want?
what you thought, Glass, week 2, right? It took
Mhm.
that second L in a row. I'm nervous. I'm like, our playoff hopes are over. It's done,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm. Mhm.
If Cam keep coming out here looking like this is like, especially if they had lost a 3rd game in a row, it would have been bad, right? So,
Right.
Kyle Allen comes in, he restores our faith in our playoff run this season, and it's great, right? And maybe he wins 4 more games.
Mhm.
Maybe he wins 3 more before he takes a loss, and then he bounces back and wins 2 more. Who knows, right? I just think that with a Cam Newton, you just don't move on unless you know for sure, 100% that he can't go no more. You know what I mean? Like, because you're gonna get Peyton Manning if you do. Just
Well,
saying.
look,
You
the
know?
guy number financially, to move off Cam, it would make sense for your pocketbook right now.
Yes.
Right.
But it's gonna hurt you for years to come
Yes.
if you lose a guy that's got to learn.
Oh, absolutely.
He's been in a comfortable situation.
Mhm.
But you lose a guy that's got to learn. You keep a guy that's got to learn. You lose a guy that know how to win. It's gonna hurt you for years. I mean, there's a lot of teams out there still looking for. They just retired a guy that finessed 2 teams and never proved to be anything.
Right.
Listen, you have to be careful what you ask for, man. You have to be
Right.
careful.
I definitely
Very
believe that.
careful.
What you got on the Glass?
Man, I just believe that they need to give Cam time to heal and see what you got from there. Because okay, if you get rid of Cam, what you got left? Because you can't see him put all your eggs in one basket with Allen.
Right.
Allen's doing his job, but we all know he's a career backup.
Right.
Man,
Look what you're surrounded by.
He's a pocket passer. He's not the only way he looking good is because Run CMC is got yards after catch,
Absolutely. I believe
making him look good.
I believe you put McCaffrey with any mediocre quarterback, and
Exactly.
going to elevate them a little bit. I believe Allen may be future. I mean, this is Cam's 8th or 9th season, so I mean, like, eventually he got to think about winding it down a little bit, right? But I think if Allen continues to perform the way he's performing, yeah, he's a nice option to go to if your big battering ram quarterback, because injuries is gonna be something that Cam's gonna have to deal with. Like,
Yes.
Well, look, I'm gonna tell you this right now, and I don't wish this on any team, but usually, the veil come off if something happened to the defense.
Yes.
If another team scheme up good enough against Carolina's defense, Kyle Allen will have to rise to the occasion. I don't see that happening.
Right.
You got to have game experience to rise to the occasion. You ain't gonna just come in and just do it.
Right.
Name me somebody that just came in and just did it.
Right.
I don't think so. And number 2, lastly, Q, because this whole topic all for the past 4 weeks has made me sick to my stomach.
Wow.
Lastly,
That's why I wanted to put a pin in it this week, right? There you go.
lastly, if we'll pay attention, we'll do about a number. I have some rock solid numbers percentage wise next week because I feel like they're on the bye next week.
Yep.
It's going to be another bigger story because Cam's supposed to be back and he'll be on the sidelines. So I'll give you some solid. And just by Cam being in uniform might put the pressure on Allen. He may end up costing.
I mean, because we done seen him perform pretty bad too and still pull a win out. All right, so Gio says, join the show, guys. Greeting from Ottawa, Canada. From Canada.
What up, Gio?
He says Panthers should stick with Allen and the Saints should stick with my man Touchdown Teddy. Absolutely, just like JB said. Like, I mean, look, but I don't know, and that's the weird thing, Glass. So if and when Breeze is back, it's not even a conversation. Teddy knows he's gonna take his helmet off and go sit his ass on the bench, right?
Right.
It's a weird.
Can we agree this is an addition to his next team?
Oh, absolutely.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Well, and look, the Panthers got some value in Kyle Allen.
They do.
Happen.
Absolutely.
But you know what? Who will be happy if they moved up Cam Newton? All of a sudden, Tampa Bay, Atlanta, and New Orleans will be slobbing at the mouth. They're
Absolutely.
like, y'all gonna move off y'all took the bait and got rid of Newton. Oh, you ain't winning no division for a while.
Absolutely. You take Cam out of the NFC South, and Carolina don't see a division title for another 10 years. I guarantee it.
Better.
You know what I mean, right? So Diego says Kyle Allen doesn't threaten the second level of defenses well enough
Exactly.
for my liking at this stage to supplant Cam. And Gio said Cam had McCaffrey and he kept losing games. It's more than that. Cam can't play at a high level anymore. I would disagree. I don't think we've seen we can't make that assumption just yet.
I don't know how you can tell that from 2 games. Because if that's the case, a lot of these quarterbacks who they believe in should be out. If it's about 2 games, I mean, you got to be careful how you. I think it's more about how people feel about Cam.
You know what? That is
and that's your own problem, exactly, you know. But the guy got the numbers to back to make every claim other than your feelings.
He got the numbers, he's got the records, he's got the experience to prove it, and everything else that everybody talk about is nonsense, right? What's the man's name? Jason Whitlock, talking about the video Cam did on YouTube when he did the interview style thing with the wine and the cigar, and he was explaining why he decided to sit down and how he lied about the injury and all that stuff. And they talk about the scars, and they talk about his fashion. They talk about that bullshit, right?
There you go.
That don't even matter, right? It's what that man can do when he's strapped up his helmet and he go on that field. And he is undeniable. When you got him at 100%, he's hard to beat.
Let the Panthers make this move, and I won't leave this alone as long as we do this.
Yeah, right.
I promise you that.
So he says you wanted to name somebody who just came in and did it. It was Tom Brady, and that's a whole other story for a whole other day, and we can break that down and show you how. You know, luck was
okay. How many Pro Bowlers was on that squad before they?
Exactly.
Don't even like us. I mean, don't even do this, man. They had lost the Super Bowl the previous season to Green Bay, so they was already on a mission to try.
So, that's a whole different thing.
Man, come on. You gotta know your history if you're gonna make points, man.
Right. So if we can probably agree that Allen is probably the way to go right now.
For now,
Cam probably just hold out until this whole momentum thing is over, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, I think so too. I definitely.
Okay, if you're judging the quarterback on 2 games, Matthew Stafford should be out.
Yeah,
he ain't got it no more. He can't do it.
Once again, I'm just saying. I think people looking at the streak from last year, the 6 in a row that they lost.
Right. Yes.
Football's a team game, man.
I totally agree.
Kyle Allen wouldn't be relevant if the defense wasn't playing at the level that they.
No doubt.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you're going, if you, I don't know. I just
nothing but a bandage right now.
Listen, I am not a Cam Newton fan, nor am I a Panther fan by any stretch. But when you're saying dumb shit, come on. I'm not I can't do that with, man.
I will spit my drink out. Okay, glass, right? Wow. Okay. So we're going to speed.
Enough said. All right.
We're going to speed around these games.
Okay, you ready? We got week 7 on hand. I got 4. I got 4 games on the docket. Let's talk about I know y'all don't want to talk about this, but we're gonna do it. Yeah. AFC West divisional game. Kansas City Chiefs, that's 4-2, coming to Empower Field at Mile High to play my beloved.
You know what? I'm glad you brought this up.
2-4.
Because when me and Vernie did the podcast last night, she thought I was crazy. And I'm getting ready to tell us to everybody who's watching us live right now so I can prove to you what kind of genius that I am, right? Now, this is what I told her. I said...
Algorithm?
Yes, absolutely. I said that, watch what happens because the Chiefs are on a little downward skid. They don't know what to do with themselves. They can't find their confidence. I don't know what's going on. Oh, and look at the Broncos. The Broncos done won their first game. They feeling themselves right now. And
we got 2 in the bucket.
Okay, there you go. You winning, right? So, and watch this. This is the game that the Broncos had circled on the calendar anyway. And the Chiefs coming in feeling the way they're feeling, they're gonna get humbled real quick by the Broncos. I got the Broncos winning this game, and I'm gonna stick to my convictions. Like she told me I was crazy last night, JB. And I'm sticking with it. I'm going with the Broncos. What you got, JB?
Hey, Pat Mahomes and Deshaun Watson should be out of the league, and they can't do it no more if it's about 2 games. Just saying. Q, you got me on my soapbox, man.
I know. You need to come down.
I've been listening to this crap. I don't even realize. I can't even remember what Glass set up as far as games.
Chiefs and Broncos, like the
Chiefs and Broncos, man. At Denver.
I'm gonna take Pat Mahomes this because if he don't win this game, he should be out.
Well, I mean, according to the logic that that's being presented here, but listen, Patrick Mahomes is a young quarterback, man. And look, he ain't went through no adversity until just now. I think this is his first time actually going through a struggle. You know what I mean?
He should be out of the league. He should be out of the league. Now, to his resume, playoffs, league MVP, get out of here, man. Get out of here. Get out of here. What should happen is the people that's contributing to losses should be off the damn team. You can't play safety, get off. You can't play corner, get off. You ain't a good pass rusher, you're out. If you suck as a coach, leave. That's what you should be looking at.
You got juiced up tonight.
It's just nonsense, man. It's just nonsense. They give LeBron James the same treatment. Just because you don't like him as a person don't mean he's still like the best basketball player ever. Right. What equate to make you the basketball player? His personality or wins? Body of work. This guy been in 8 straight fights. This is not a basketball platform. I'm just giving you an analogy.
Well, look, man.
Cut it out, man. Cut it out.
Sometimes the wins don't matter because you got to understand the Dallas Cowboys are still the most popular team in the NFL.
Yeah, and it definitely ain't about winning. They ain't won nothing.
There you go. Right.
That's about narrative and agenda on a player or a person, just individual.
I know, JB going nuts right now.
Man.
I don't know what's
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
I don't know what just happened.
This switch or whatever you want, a defamation of character is so see-through. It's nonsense, man.
Right.
And I'm listen, I got something for him. Backdrop, shirt, everything. As soon as Kylan win, I'm gonna have Carolina shit everywhere.
There it is.
Because I'm gonna rub the numbers in. I might have live plays.
Oh,
I'm definitely gonna drag these casual.
He gonna break down.
I'm definitely gonna give these casual fans calling for Cam's job something. I have to. I have to because I live in. Oh, matter of fact, people, sorry viewers, this ain't a real soapbox rant. I live in Panther country, so I head every day.
Yeah. So it is. So I still don't know who you picked last. I don't even know who you.
I picked Mahomes because if he don't win, he should be out.
Okay, there you go. Hey, Diego say he feel you, JB. He feel exactly where you're coming from, man. Hey, listen. JB got up on the soapbox. It's usually me doing that. It's JB tonight.
That is not something I'm gonna entertain. If you're a real sports fan, then cool. Okay. But if you don't like the way a guy wears hair or he wear crazy outfits at the podium, then that's on you. Turn the TV off. The league don't need fans like that. You need to check yourself. Okay.
So Glass, who you got in this game?
I forgot what the hell we was talking about.
I'm so sorry, man. I'm so sorry.
Hey, let it ride, man. Let it ride. It's good.
Wow.
I know Kansas City just lost 2 in a row. Yeah. We're going ahead and make it 3. I agree with Big Q's algorithms and
there you go.
News right here.
That hot news.
The hot news. Their run defense suck. Kansas City Chiefs. You know how you know that? Game last week. The Texans preferably Deshaun Watson. He been sacked how many times? The last 6 games? 11?
Yeah.
He did not get touched at all last week. Okay, so that just goes to show you the Kansas City defense suck. With that being said, run defense suck too. And with that, Lindsey will be running. He'll have 110 yards.
Yeah, you better run.
Flacco will have enough time to pick him off. I wish we had Chubb in to put a little more pressure on Mahomes, but it's gonna be by a field goal, maybe 6 points. But my Denver Broncos will come out of here with the win, and Kansas City Chiefs will have 3 in a row.
You just need to hand the ball out. Don't throw it. JB got everybody in the comment section saying amen. So there's that. So you got that going on.
Yeah.
You got that going on. Okay, and he said Falcons didn't touch him the week before either.
Matt Ryan should be out.
Matt Ryan should be gone.
Matt Ryan should
if that's how we doing it. They should be out.
All right, guys, what's next?
All right, we got the Houston Texans at 4-2 going up to Lucas Oil Stadium to play the 3-2 Indianapolis Colts.
Jacoby Brissett should be out.
What about Jared Goff?
We will have no quarterback left in the league.
Out of here. Out of here. You suck. You gotta go. Who's your backup? Who's your backup?
Completely off the rails. Completely off the rails. Hey, listen.
Okay.
This is another trap game that I thought that was gonna go the other way. I like Indianapolis in this game only because Houston. It's Houston.
Who's
right?
quarterbacking in Washington? See ya.
Yeah.
See you around.
You got 2 L's on your resume. It's over,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
Your career is done.
Yep.
Yeah, but no. Like I know everybody feeling Houston. Only reason why I'm not really on Houston like this because of what happened in Carolina. I feel like that's a game that they probably should have won. I think that was Allen's first start too, wasn't it? I think it was. They got beat by a rookie quarterback. Didn't like it. And it made me lose faith in them, and I'm not doing it. And I think India's on the rise. They're a quiet as kept team. Their defense is middle of the road. They're doing okay. I mean, I still don't like Jacoby Brissett. They ain't got no wheels. But I think that they win this game though. I like them. What you got, JB?
Half the people that's talking this nonsense ain't even played football in their life. Ask them what a legal procedure is. Ask them what illegal shift is. What's the spot foul? Ask them these questions, kid. They don't know what's going on. All they know is they ain't got to look at Cam Newton's carved handkerchiefs and all this nonsense. Or he's like, well, they consider nonsense at the podium. I'm not picking the Colts to win this week.
Oh, okay. So you like the Houston Texans. There you go, right? Okay. Because listen, when he was dancing, it was that, and now it's the scars and the hats. It's always going to be something.
Everybody was dabbing and acting up. Yeah, Cam was
he was a superstar. All right, Class, what you got on this one?
All right, this is going to be a good game. It's the division. It's the AFC South divisional game. Both teams are top notch. They're all around good team, defense, offense. I'm gonna go with the Colts, man. It's at home. They're coming off a bye. They fresh. Hopkins, he is a 99 on the Madden scale, but he's been dropping balls lately.
Yes, he has.
Hey, you know what, Glass? He should be out. Sorry, man.
Wow.
Well, I'm going
out of here.
I'm gonna make this quick. I'm going with the Colts, man.
There you go, man. All right.
All right, next up is JB's Baltimore Ravens. That's 4-2.
Yeah.
Going up to Century League Field to play the 5-1 Seattle Seahawks.
Uh-huh. So JB, look. Lamar Jackson lost to the Cleveland Browns. He should be out.
It shouldn't even be in the game. Actually, we should have never. According to some, Glass, we should have never moved off Flacco, and this shit shouldn't have happened to Flacco, and it's a travesty that it happened to Flacco.
Wow.
It's bad business. He shouldn't have never left the Ravens and went over to Denver and lost them games to be considered a sucky quarterback. Shouldn't have happened to him, bro. A travesty.
It was
and look at that guy's hair. Look how he's standing up there. We don't need that, bro.
It's Ravens and who?
Hey man, who we got?
Cut it out.
Who we got? Big Q. Who you got, man?
It was Ravens and who? I don't know what other team was.
Seattle, man.
Seahawks.
Oh, and what they playing? They're playing the Central League, right?
They playing Central League, yes.
Okay. Oh man, that's a tough one. Okay, let me see. Let me see here. I like what the Seahawks been grinding it out. They've been doing it. I'm just saying, like what I've been saying for the last couple of weeks about the Seahawks. Like they are great. I think they're doing just enough to win these games. They're not blowing nobody off the page, right? They're not blowing nobody off the page, but they're gritty and they grimy, and I like that, But they're going up against another team that's gritty and grimy too.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna give Seahawks the slight edge because they're playing at home. But I would, if the game, because Baltimore has proved to be a really good road team, and you know what, I think teams that can perform well on the road is always a good thing, especially when we get toward the end of the season. I'm gonna give the edge to Seattle though because they're at home. They're gonna pull some trickery at the end of this game, and they'll win by like 1 or 2 points, and that kind of thing. It ain't gonna hurt Baltimore at all. So I'm going with Seattle on this one. Glass, where you at?
All right, man. I like the Baltimore Ravens. I like what they're doing in their division with their 2 games ahead of the Browns and the Steelers 4-2. I like what I see. They're giving Lamar Jackson the credit that he's due, but then again, they're going up to the link to play Russell Wilson, who is an MVP caliber quarterback right now.
Yeah.
He finds a way. That team in general just finds a way to get wins. They only lost 1. Let's not forget about that. Even though Ravens look good with losing 2, Seahawks lost 1. I think it's going to come down to the last 2 minutes of the game. Russell Wilson going to march up the field, find Lockett, find have Carson running in somehow, some way, but I've got the Seahawks over the Ravens.
All right. And JB, do we even need to go to you?
Yeah, you do. But you do need to go to me.
Okay.
Because this matchup here strengthens my point of quarterbacks. Russell Wilson knows how to win. You know, this whole campaign of their winning streak belongs to Russell Wilson. And Lamar gonna learn something from Russell. And this strengthens my point. This guy he'll find a way how to get it done. Mm-hmm. We're gonna lose this game, but it's gonna be good medicine. Yeah. You know,
I got you. I feel you.
And Russell gonna find a way to make that and make it. It could be a blowout because the way we've been playing in the secondary, it's not even been something to even talk about.
Nah,
but
because the Seahawks offense ain't that super explosive, but I just think that they're really smart. You know what I mean? Like they've been outsmarting everybody.
Russell Wilson knows how he understands game situations.
Right.
He understands what it's gonna take. He understands what they gotta do. The guy just gave up maybe it was a team decision, but they could have scored again at the end of their last game.
Right.
They decided what's the risk of trying to get another touchdown? The game in the bag. Right. Just stuff things like that, it just the certain throws, when to take off a run, when to get out of bounds, when to get down.
Right.
Try not to get it all back on one play. This is stuff that Lamar, it's good medicine for.
Yeah, Ravens Red Zone is in the building. Says never underestimate the Ravens. The Ravens will win on a Legatron field goal.
Okay.
Yeah.
If we do, that's good. But for what it's worth and what it looked like, we got some new pieces that we got injuries. We got new pieces. We won't jail. We won't jail in 4 days.
I think that either way, it's going to be a real tight one. This is not going to be
It'll be entertaining.
It's going to be entertaining, and you know what? And I wouldn't be surprised if the Ravens found a way to win, but I just feel like the Seahawks are just sneaky and a little savvy. They a savvy little squad, and they'll figure out a way to squeeze that victory out. All right, Glass, what you got?
All right, last one. Battle of 3-3s in the NFC East. We got the Philadelphia Eagles going up to AT&T Stadium to play the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, and this is interesting.
Yes.
This is very interesting. So, early in the show I said, well, if Jason Garrett going to get fired, they probably wait till the end of the season to do it. Man, so they playing in Dallas?
Yep.
So if Philadelphia come in there and hand the Dallas Cowboys a fourth consecutive loss, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine the ramifications? You know what? It's the thought of that that's making my mouth water. You know what I'm saying? Right? Even though I feel like Dallas at this point should be playing with a chip on their shoulder, they should under no circumstances allow a division rival to come in their house after they done lost 2 games in a row and beat them on their own turf. That should seem like a very hostile situation for the Philadelphia Eagles. But you know what? I think they understand that. And I think they got a better defensive squad than Dallas. And, they got a little savvy little quarterback and, a couple wide receivers that can do some stuff. You know what? I want to see Mr. Clapalong get put on the hot seat this week. I'm going Philadelphia in this game, the road team. KB?
I think they kill some of the narrative.
Yeah.
But Dallas will win. I'm picking Dallas to win the game.
Right. Yeah. They should.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. They should. They should be playing with some conviction. They really should.
What have they met already before this season?
No,
not yet.
Okay, so Dallas will take the first one home. They'll split it.
All right, you know what? I do pick the Eagles. I think I'm stick with the Eagles. But let's keep it real now. Carson Wentz don't look good. Like he got paid and he don't look like he's healthy and he's doing the right thing. That defense. Let's not forget, last week against Minnesota,
Diggs had a hat trick.
Cousins made Rasul Douglas look like garbage. He couldn't stick. He couldn't stick.
But that same defense done bailed them out in plenty of games early in the season, though. The first couple weeks.
No, they haven't.
One of them games, I think it was week 2. They were down like 20-something points.
The Packers game, they played well, but that's it. That was the Thursday night game. I'm sorry, Glass. You was up, man. My bad.
No problem. But then again, that was Kirk Cousins. We talking about Dak Prescott. I don't think he could throw bombs like that. I have not seen him throw bombs like that. Right. Amari Cooper is injured. We don't know if he's playing in this game. They got a lot of injuries on that team now.
Do.
So
they do.
With that being said, man, let's keep it real. I'm gonna go with the Eagles over the Cowboys, and hopefully this helps Jason Garrett get kicked out the door.
You talking about 4? You talking about 4 in a row, Glass?
4 in a row.
I ain't fooling with the Cowboys. I'm gonna tell you, don't you know I lost in the Pick'em League this year? I lost every single afternoon game. I didn't get a single one of them right. Not a single one of them.
Are you serious?
No, not one.
Andy Dalton should be
Right.
out, by the way.
Yeah,
He should be out.
Right.
He should be out of here.
That's it.
Okay. Wow, what an explosive episode this week. I want to thank everybody. Wow. I want to thank everybody who came out to check us out this week, man. We did have I said we was going to have a good show. I said that at the beginning of the show. The show was going to be a special one. Definitely, I had a lot of fun tonight. It was great. We touched on a bunch of good stuff. Again, for everybody who came out to check us out tonight, we definitely appreciate the support. If you want to continue supporting us, make sure you like the video, no matter where you're watching it at, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Periscope, wherever. Like it, share it, that kind of thing. If you're watching the show and you're not a subscriber, because we know that people like to watch us and they don't say much in the comment section. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Let us know that you're kind of supporting us. And also, there's little links you can click on, man, to kind of show your support for your boys. We're trying to do it, man. We're trying to, to put on the best show we possibly can for you guys. But again, it's we do it for y'all guys because, we just love doing it. Anyway, JB, I know you're feeling some type of way that Cam Newton. I'm surprised you're feeling that kind of way about Cam Newton out of all people. But if you can, go ahead and put yourself over for everybody, man.
Nicely, easily. Man, I appreciate everybody who's in the comment section, people who came out and watched the show, and the people that come out faithfully. It's all sports. That's why we're here, because we love it. Some of us more so than others. But either way, you can always find me here on live with my brothers or on Twitter at Raven Show.
There you go. All right. So, Seymour Carver's in the building. You came in a little late, brother. That's okay. We're glad to have you. We got.
Hey, your team doing good, man.
Yes,
hey, remember I said I bought the Seahawks football for 2 weeks? Paid off, bro.
Yeah, it did. And you know what? I said I was nervous because I picked San Francisco this week, and I hadn't picked them all year. And they had been winning because I was picking against them.
Did I say Seahawks? San Francisco.
I thought I was going to put the EBGBs on them this week. But they kicked that curse anyway, and they won anyway. So shout out to the Niners for doing their thing, bro.
But you know what worried me about the Niners? I know we're wrapping up. Since I bought the San Francisco football for 2 weeks, I believed in them. Yeah. Watch they drop a game to some nobody.
Nah, man.
That's going to suck.
The Niners saying that they coming out of the NFC like nobody saw them coming. And boom, they're here now. So look, I ain't gonna get on the bandwagon because I know when I do that, then the team starts suffering. So
they're a good team. They're a good team, though. They look fast. We'll
keep with this.
They execute plays. Yeah. They got strengths and spots where some teams struggling, like quarterback, cornerback, pass rush. Yeah. They got that stuff.
Well, some people would talk about strength of schedule, but that's a whole other conversation for another day.
Hey, they didn't make the schedule. They ain't make it.
Right, I got you. I'm just saying. I'm just doing what some people say.
Hey, they got dubs. They deserve to be where they at, man.
Yeah, Diego say, yeah, Q still. Yeah, no. And then Seahawks like, yeah, you jump on the bandwagon, you do it. Nah, because I'm bad juju, bro. Let's go ahead and put yourself on with it, man.
We lost rails on this show, but it's all good, man. Hey, I love the talk and everything. Hey, JB, keep on doing what you're doing, man. Good stuff. Man. If you don't catch me here, my brothers here, JB, Big Q on TeamBoydTV Live, or on Tuesday mornings with Big Q on the Fallout. First off, I'm gonna shout out to everybody that showed up on the show. What was it? Josh Abbey.
Yep.
Seahawks, Seattle Seahawks 566A, Raiders Red Zone, Diego, Gio Knows, Carver. Appreciate you guys joining the show. Everybody out there, if you don't, I know you're watching the show, and you don't include yourself in a conversation. Go ahead and include yourself. We love it. We love it, interacting with you guys.
Yes, we do.
And like I said before, enough rambling. If you don't see me here with my brothers on TeamBoydTV, you can catch me on social media, Instagram, Facebook, The Sage of Sports on Twitter, Sage of Sports 1, and you can email me at thesageofsports@gmail.com. Shouts out to Urban Arena, our brothers, Diego, Uncle Hate on AA Sports, Straight Sports, No Chaser. Follow them, check them out. I'm done.
All right, cool. And yeah, man, again, just to reiterate what the brother said, man, we definitely appreciate everybody who came out. And yes, definitely the Off the Rail shows are the best shows. But trust me, Diego, you don't want me nowhere near your bandwagon. Look what I did for the Cleveland Browns this season. You don't want that smoke, dude. Trust me.
Hey, man, free Cam Newton, man. Free Cam Newton.
Right. Listen, y'all been good, man. We definitely appreciate it. We will catch y'all next week. Y'all stay live. We out. Peace.